Hello everybody, welcome to another daily dose of gaming news and all that good stuff. And as always, I'll also publish everything on Rumble, on the blogger site as an archive post thingy, and everything for Patreon, also for extra support. And I'll go about any kind of updates and shenanigans on Twitter X platform, uh, sometimes mainly regarding live stream. I did manage yesterday to publish the Saturday's live stream VOD, and I assume today I'm be able to publish the Sundays. Yeah, Sunday or yeah Sunday. Today is Tuesday. Okay, sorry. Sunday's live stream VOD, and later we should be having a Dead Space episode also. So, and in terms of live stream, I don't know, depends if I have time or not. Yesterday I couldn't make it. But yeah, this is how we are at this moment in time regarding the channel updates kind of thing there. Again, live stream, I can only, it's not that I can only, at the moment I'm just doing YouTube stuff on the live stream side. It's 4K 60, so far didn't have like any major issues with that, but probably eventually I will change to Rumble when they start accepting better, when they get better conditions regarding the streaming, not only not only the 1080p or more or higher resolutions, or is more about the codec itself, to bring better quality on the gameplay, because in Rumble at this moment in time it's a little bit tricky to stream gameplay of video games at 60 frames per second, even at 1080p. It's very hard to stream properly without dealing with huge compression issues on there because of the codec support there. But yeah, basically this is it regarding the channel news. Again, just a reminder, if I go live doing live stream, I always post it on Twitter so you can catch up with me. Okay, similarly, there's already been some Sony International Interactive, what's it called? Yeah, Sony is a little bit all over the place. They got PlayStation stuff, SEI, which is Sony International Entertainment, I think. Okay, they did some announcements. I think it was Jim Ryan, if not mistaken, the previous CEO. Yeah, and Jim Ryan. Okay, the CEO there, and now they announced two new CEOs. Basically, it was announced that Herman Hulst, he started basically. He was a studio head at Guerrilla Games, then before was head of PlayStation Studios. And now he is senior vice president. Okay, it's a lot of titles here, but now he's going to be the CEO of Studio Business Groups. Supposedly he's going to focus on development, publishing, and business operation on all first-party PlayStation content. So I assume any kind of in-house kind of a thing there. I think this guy is going to be the person to blame if something goes wrong. And on the other hand, the second CEO is Nishino, Mr. Nishino, which the full name is Hideaki Nishino. Okay, it was form of senior vice president of the Platform Experience Group. Again, these titles of this corporate stuff is just to fill seats and suck money out of the company. But okay, is going to be will take the role of CEO of Sony Entertainment, International Entertainment Platform Business Group, basically to focus on technology, products, services, the platform experience, and third-party operations. So this guy is supposedly the one that we can blame with, now starting to blame on the Helldivers stuff there, because it has to do with third-party operations. Again, Steam as a distributor there, platform experience. It's something that we as PC players surely don't want to deal with the platform of Sony or PlayStation. Yeah, this is, guys, supposedly, I assume you can start blaming for future decisions on the debacle of what PlayStation is doing, even though you can blame this guy also starting now. on or trying to put some pressure there regarding business operational first-party PlayStation content, because I think Arrowhead is a first-party studio from PlayStation, if not mistaken. At least that's my understanding. I might be wrong there, but yeah, we can start pressuring these two guys now on reversing the situation on Helldivers too. Continuing with all these announcements from PlayStation and Sony, supposedly PlayStation 5 sells 60 million globally. I thought that they sold more. Again, I'm not very much a console person, so I didn't was not following this much closely. And supposedly Helldivers 2 sold 12 million copies across PC and PS5. We don't have in this article any kind of numbers separated between the console version and the PC version, so you can get a better sense which one is to a certain degree performing better. But I will assume that most of it's going to be belonging to the PC part of this game here. Supposedly, even with only 60 million or approximately 60 million units sold worldwide, Sony managed to sell basically 1/3 during this fiscal year. At least that's a perception of things here. They almost reached the revised sales. They just missed by around 200k, but yeah. Then we got more console stuff. They are interestingly enough, PS5 sales now being down year on year. We wonder whether if PS5 sales will ever surpass lifetime PS4 sales. Again, usually these kind of ecosystems, people tend to forget that consoles to the majority of people is like an investment. So it's something that you it's a purchase that you have to consider, given that it's not only the buying a console, it's the ecosystem involved there, which in this case on PlayStation is like PSN Plus stuff. So it's like the subscription service. Again, I think in terms of perks, it's a little bit better. Even though it's got some shenanigans happening there, I think you need to play online. You have to have PSN Plus to play online on games that you own, which is weird like shit. And then I think they give you like 2 free games per month, give or take. I think as long as you have that active there, I think they give you two games per month. It's chosen from a library of their own games, like older games and the such. They give you for free. To a certain degree, it's better than having like a Xbox Pass service there. Even though, again, if not mistaken, I think it was the last time I checked this, is for you to play online with PlayStation, you need to buy the thing on PSN Plus to play online games. So basically, Helldivers players on PlayStation, besides the fact that they have to deal with the live service element of the game itself, they need to buy a subscription thing there with PlayStation to be able to play it online, because Helldivers 2 is an online game. So yeah, that's that. And I'm not sure, now that I think about it, if there is anything regarding I'm not sure. I think you only need a PSN account with the linkage stuff. You just need a PSN account. You don't need like PSN Plus, because you basically, even though it's irrelevant, you're playing on the server side of the PC stuff, even though it's cross play, if not mistaken. I think it's only things exclusive to the PlayStation people there, which can be more devices than people think. If people that have the game on PlayStation 5, in this case talking about Helldivers because it's an online game, if for them if they need to buy in a subscription tier to play any kind of game online, and given that on PC you just buy a PC and you have that access online already, I think there is no even on EA stuff or Ubisoft kind of a thing, or even 2K, you have always access online for your games. It's something that it's part of the deal there. Yeah, it's more expensive to play this game on PS5 than on PC, if you can play it on PC, of course. But yeah, supposedly it sold 12 million copies between both systems. as of May 5th. Yeah, it's a lot of copies since it came out. I'm not sure how long it. Yeah, the early February. It's like 3 months, or give or take. So it's a lot of copies. It's basically 1 million copies per week in the last 9 weeks, give or take. So yeah, it's a lot of copies. But still, we still have this situation with Helldivers 2 with the thing. Again, I'm not probably never going to play this game, even without these shenanigans, because it's usually not the game this kind of game that I usually like to play. Multiplayer games like persistent online multiplayer games. Usually, it's not my thing, but I started to get an itch of maybe trying out this game in the future, because the game technically is pretty good. The lore around it and the community around it, it seems pretty good, and it's kind of a PvE element, even though it's a multiplayer game, which is something that it's more I don't like PvP games like Call of Duty stuff. There, I really don't like to play that. But the fact that it's a PvE, it draws a little bit more for me to try out this game. But again, now it's something that I completely not going to play. I will not even consider playing. But I was considering trying to jump around this maybe in the summer, something like that, when I might have some extra cash to just go around and spend some money here. Because of all the goodwill that the community had to the gaming developers and even to a certain extent Sony. But yeah, now I'm for sure not going to play, because this game is still, and again, to make a point out of this is not part of the Arrowhead Game Studios kind of issue. This is part of PlayStation issue, because they are the publishers. They take the final decision in this kind of situations here. The game is still, again, where you cannot make a PSN account. You're restricted on buying this game on Steam. I think the ones that already bought at the time before all of this shenanigans happened, they can still play it, no issues without PSN accounting. But it was delisted from Steam on all of these regions here, which is around 180 regions. So given that PlayStation Network is only available in around 70 countries maximum, I think. Again, I didn't do any kind of investigation, but again, I will assume that a lot of PSN coverage is not allowed in other countries. I will assume basically on legislation on most of these regions that doesn't allow the collection of data the way PlayStation want to do the collection of data of the clients there. I will assume that, because majority is like United States, Europe, a lot of countries in Europe have the access to this. South America also is very PlayStation is very popular there. But again, Africa, Russia, a lot of southern East Asia kind of countries there, Philippines and such, they don't have access to this. Not even Vietnam, a lot of Middle Eastern countries also. Yeah, it's yeah, I don't know. I know what it is. They just want to try to use cross-selling products through this, but they forget PC doesn't work like this. It's not an opportunity to just retrieve data, biometric data and such. It's not an opportunity for you to try to oversell or upsell other stuff to us. You just put the game on Steam or any kind of platform or distributed platform, and you just at least in this case specifically, because the grace period of 3 months that was imposed, then all of a sudden they just make it mandatory there on the Helldivers 2. I'm specifically talking about this Helldivers 2 situation, because the way you presented things is that there will be no necessary PSN linkage, from what I understand. even though the warning was there on the Steam, okay, but it was not enforced. It was a policy that was not enforced throughout 3 months. You let everybody play the game, spend the money on the game, buy the DLC, and continue to play, and then all of a sudden you just forbid people to play the game when you knew that on all of these regions here, eventually you will have to block it because they don't have PSN. They don't have a way of creating a PSN. So it was a debacle from the part of the PSN linkage there from Sony. But yeah, again, I think people shouldn't have done the reversal of the or continue to not only play the game but continue to proceed to buying the game and all the content associated with that. I think people should reinforce and start reinforce their dislikes with this kind of action, because of the fact if you're not mandatory to have a PSN account, there is no need to delist the game and not allow people playing games in these regions, because you already allowed some of people of these regions to buy and play the game, and they are continuing to play the game as long as they own the game. So you're just banning people of playing the game in this case. And yeah, you're changing the rules in the middle of things, and this is how it works, especially with customers, because this is a game, but it's a selling product, and people pay for the product to have access to the product. So that's that. Regarding Ghost of Tsushima is a different situation, because before they got a little bit shaky because a lot of people pre-ordered the game, and then of course when this entered here, the restriction stuff there, a lot of pre-orders were refunded, so no loss there, because they never had access to the product. They basically try to get ahead of the curve and try to buy the game before it launches. Again, this is a completely different situation. If you're setting the rules here before you start selling the product, it's another thing. Again, even though I don't agree with this, in the case of Ghost of Tsushima, mainly it's because it's a single player game. I understand why it is restricted, mainly because there is a multiplayer component there. I assume you could have just cut off the multiplayer part there, so you don't have to restrict these regions. And interestingly enough, a lot of people were refunded from these regions. It was a lot of pre-orders, which is a lot of loss of business there. But yeah, regardless, the fact that you're just restricting people to even play just the solo part there, yeah, it's very weird how they're going about it. Again, I assume they don't want to sell the game on Steam, and they just encouraging people from all of these regions here, which is 180 regions, to basically pirate the game, because I've been seeing a lot of Twitter stuff saying, okay, if you will not allow us to buy the game so we can play the game, we're just going to pirate the game. Again, I usually don't encourage to do that, but yeah, it's the situation they are putting themselves into, because to a certain degree it's not even stealing. If you're not it's not stealing because it's not available to buy, to a certain degree, even though of course I don't agree very much with that philosophy, but to a certain degree people can justify it in that sense, that we want to buy, we have the money to buy, we have the distributor that we have access to buy, you just not allowing us to buy, so we want to use the product, so we will arrange alternative methods to go about and play the game. That's the situation they put themselves into. Probably after the game is launched, we might see in the following weeks some news that probably on the torrent sites and all that jazz, where you can find alternative ways of getting around software in gaming, you might see that it might be one of the most downloaded software pieces there, for sure. I'm betting on that, unfortunately. But yeah, because in the end, who's going to get screwed up is Sucker Punch Productions, because they're the ones that work on the game. This game is excellent from all that I've been hearing in terms of the technical aspect. The same way with Helldivers 2. It's strange how they just turn anything beautiful and pretty decent, and they just screw around with not only with customers but also with the studio, the developing studio of the games itself. It's a shit show. But yeah, and yeah, as you can see, this is the Ghost of Tsushima Steam page again. Here requires third-party account, PlayStation Network, online multiplayer, and PlayStation Overlay supports linking to Steam account. Yeah, this is basically single player. It is online co-op, but it's like after usually you do the solo play. Usually some people just go about and doing. I think it's more about challenges and the stuff. It's not very comprehensive on that sense. But yeah, it's a shame that this is not going to sell that well. But yeah, it's what you put yourself in these positions, you will get eventually screwed. They will learn, because as long as we vote with the wallet, it's they will understand the message eventually. And again, I will stop at this moment in time. I will not recommend any kind of deals from PlayStation Studios publishing games there. Anything that they publish, I will not recommend for sure. I will keep it on my wish list, as at least keep my eyes on it. But even if it is just solo gameplay, I will not recommend. I will do my part on fighting for consumer rights, and that's one of the things that I can do. Okay, regarding other news, we got Assassin's Creed Shadows leaks all over the place now. I think they are trying to avoid making official announcements. They just let people leak information to see how the information is received, and maybe do some changes in the background so they can, when they officially announce something, gets less backlash. But yeah, supposedly this is going to be like the AAA stuff, the next mainline kind of a game there from Assassin's Creed. Supposedly it's going to be likely priced at $70 for the base edition. And we got some leaks regarding the pricing of Season Pass, which is another $40 to $50, I don't know, depending, because the price here are set in pounds. So I will assume between $40 to $50 for the Season Pass. A welcome pack of whatever Helix currency it is, $35, give or take, and then got to supposedly 2 expansions, so $20 each. So plus if you buy it one by one, it's a $120, give or take. If you buy the premium edition, I will assume. Then you got the currency packs with the microtransactions that Microsoft, all of them, like to do. In this case, Ubisoft, they don't even with the welcome pack. They're just not going to do any kind of deal, like shave off $5 out of this to make it more enticing. These people are just so shameless on this. I didn't watch the things. There was some last year, some stuff that was leaked also regarding this game. Supposedly the game will set again on feudal Japan and all that stuff, and you have 2 playable characters in the game, a female samurai, which was something I'm not sure if it ever happened. It must be as rare or rarer than an African refugee shinobi. Again, I don't know what to tell you there. Supposedly, in terms of mechanics side of things, supposedly is going to be an increased focus on stealth, with some mechanics similar to Hitman and Splinter Cell. And supposedly there are going to be some destructive environments and even mechanics inspired by From Software Sekiro, like a puzzle bar where it can be broken through the enemy's defense and something like that. Again, this is all leaks. I'm not again, Ubisoft, I stopped playing games from Ubisoft. I think the last one I played, it was between the Assassin's Creed Black Flag and Splinter Cell Blacklist. I don't know which one came out later or last. It was one of those that I played for sure. I don't remember playing. Far Cry. I only played Far Cry 3, which is way back when. I didn't play any more Assassin's Creed games, not even Assassin's Creed. I don't know which one. Far Cry. Also, I stopped playing from the third one, and yeah, Ubisoft is not for me lately. I don't remember having any installed game from Ubisoft. Probably I don't. Not even the library. I don't even remember what I have there. Only the games that I mentioned there. But yeah, I'm not seeing this. I'm not looking very well forward here, even though this kind of gameplay mechanics seems interesting. But again, we got a lot of games that use the same kind of mechanics, and they are better experiences for sure. But yeah, this is what we got. I think there is a trailer coming out tomorrow, but probably we'll see more information in Ubisoft for the event. It's scheduled to go on June 10th, so yeah, we'll see how it goes there, that debacle there. We got some Resident Evil remake. Again, a lot of Capcom stuff being come out here recently. We got the Resident Evil 9 leaks or rumors of the open world stuff and all that jazz. Now, supposedly it's going to we're going to have a second remake of Resident Evil, the original one. Again, this time I will assume it's going to be the way that we've been seeing all the games of Resident Evil remakes being done, third-person view, and all that jazz, and 3D, of course. Supposedly, Leon Kennedy will be in Resident Evil. Leon Kennedy will be in Resident Evil 9. Okay. Yeah. I think that was already confirmed, if not mistaken. Okay. Regarding that, again, seems okay. They're going about so they can at least maintain the same kind of line of philosophy on the remake side, because Resident Evil, the original one, had like not a remake but an HD version, let's say. But you play the same way with the fixed camera there, fixed angle camera, and all that jazz. By doing this remake, I think would be good. Again, Leon Kennedy will be on Resident Evil 9. I didn't even read this properly. Additional information probably will be released in 2026. The original Resident Evil remake in 2026 to celebrate the series' 30th anniversary, which is good. Additional, the user revealed some additional information on yet to be revealed 9th entry of the series. Okay, I didn't read this properly. Saying that Leon Kennedy will be the main characters in the game introduction and will be 48 years old, as the game will be set in the summer of 2025, supposedly. For me, whatever, if they keep the story interesting. I played Resident Evil 7. Was an interesting kind of soft reboot to a certain degree on the series. Very interesting. I still have to play. I want to replay Resident Evil 7 4K, then go for Village. I already bought that one, and then eventually I will start buying off the remake stuff and playing them along there. They are pretty decent games there, from what I understand. Then we got also, because we got all these quarterly earnings calls from a lot of companies and a lot of information coming out. Similarly, Neowiz will publish from Lies of Pi first DLC. Suppose it's going to be this is going to happen in the second half of this year. We'll have to see. Maybe it's going to be on the anniversary. I think this game launched in early September. Maybe we'll get the DLC there. Again, no more information given, because this is like the projection for the rest of the year, of the fiscal year. So I will assume that's why we saw Lies of Pi DLC there as the second half of 2024. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, it seems good, this game. It's one of those that I'm very curious to play with. It's a Dark Souls kind of a game there, so it's similarly, the story is pretty decent. The twist they do with the Pinocchio stuff and the lore, so it's one of those that I really want to try. And lastly, again, we got the confirmation yesterday that Square Enix is going to be focusing their efforts on multi-platforming. So they, as I assumed yesterday, they're just going to scrape the exclusivity that they had throughout the years with PlayStation. And yeah, they're going full throttle on all platforms, and at the time probably they will start doing same day and date in all platforms, from not from our one, but until the end of the year they will have to align all the ports they need to do and all the optimization on the games they have on the pipeline coming out. But yeah, we'll probably see some acceleration on the PC ports on already Square Enix games there that we didn't have at the moment, because they did. I think one of the decisions they made is they seeing good sales on not Resident, sorry, always confuse these two companies, on the Final Fantasy VII remake. I think they had made some pretty decent sales. I think the main issue with the with Final Fantasy VII remake is the fact that they took a lot of time between the parts of the game, and I think the fact that they divided the game in 3 parts, the remake there, I think if they did 2 and put it 1 year apart, I think it will be just 2 done in and launch it like that. But yeah, I think people get a little bit tired or forget to play it, or people just play the first one, they like it, and now they're just waiting for the third one to launch and buy like the GOTY edition of the Final Fantasy VII remake to see how it goes, something like that. Usually people take those decisions because again, there are a lot of good games to play out, and just I'm one of those guys that usually when I see good games coming on a franchise, if there is like a story correlation between all of them, I need to replay the first game to catch up with everything, so I can have better sense of what I'm doing on the second game and so forth. And I believe a lot of people do the same thing. That's why I assume they didn't have the integrate. I think the second one that they have from Final Fantasy VII remake didn't sell that well. I think it's mainly because of that. And again, we don't have still the Final Fantasy 16 PC port yet. I will assume during this year will come out. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, this news is basically because of that, and the restructuring and the redirecting of efforts in a lot of stuff. They are confirming more layoffs in USA and EU amidst the restructuring there. Again, most of them, the number itself was not shared, but they will be cut on publishing, information technology support, and their Square Enix collective indie publishing arm. Yeah, the publishing arm it's a shame because it might help indie studios to push out their games there. But yeah, affected tabs we told this week they are being cut off. Again, this is not going to at this moment in time affect the developers teams themselves. It's more about the trying to cut the extra expenses that they had, especially outside of the Japan, because it's basically only USA and European Union. Again, I don't know if there is something to do with I don't know the fact that probably these people were mainly focused with the integration between PlayStation ecosystem there. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see for more detailed information there. But yeah, in terms of news, again, and I think I have the sense I'm overextending a lot of these latest episodes. But yeah, there is a lot of stuff to talk about that seems important to me. But yeah, gaming deals, we still have for free Circus Electric. I think it's a pretty serviceable turn-based game. To the same veins that Darkest Dungeon kind of a thing there, very similar the way you play it, but again completely different setting there. It's a circus people. It seems pretty serviceable, around 70% on Metacritic, around that. We got Ni no Kuni. This is the second one, Revenant Kingdom. The first one is not on sale. Sometimes they do this kind of thing, I don't know why. They just put one of the games on the series on sale. But yeah, 85% off. This is the Princess Edition, so I think it's got everything here. Like the extra edition. Yeah, it's a lot. Yeah, it's the extra edition there. We got also the Lamplighters League, again, as a warning. This game is not supported now for the developers because we got the shenanigans with Airbraid schemes and Paradox Interactive. They cut off ties, and with that, Airbraid schemes had to stop to support the game in terms of patching and such there. Again, I'm not sure if there is any kind of mods that fix some of the recurring issues, and I think the issues not are more about in terms of performance and some bugs here and there, from what I understand. But yeah, I'm not sure if it's something that you want to take a risk on, but it's 50% off at this moment in time. We got the Dark Souls trilogy still on sale, 50% off in all three games, and all of them, even Dark Souls 3 you need to buy the deluxe edition, but it's 50% off also. But the other two games have already the DLC included on the price. Got also King Arthur. This is Night's Tale, so the game that was launched around 2 years ago. Because we got the new launch, which is King Arthur Legion 9. This one seems to be pretty decent also. Very in line with this. I think it's a continuation, or at least set in the same world that they set up here with the King's Arthur Knight's Tale. So it seems to, it's very much kind of a Wasteland XCOM kind of. It's more about similar to Wasteland, the way you play it. But yeah, the lore itself and the story seems pretty interesting from what I've been seeing, and 60% off. And then you got Void Bastards. Again, I don't know, mixed. Maybe people again, this game is not a very long game. I don't know if people think that this is going to be like a very sprawling game. Again, it's a pretty decent, pretty good game. More than serviceable on the mechanics presented itself. We got maybe probably some people think the humor is not that good for them, but yeah, I really much enjoyed the game. I made a series out of it, and I really do recommend this kind of game. 70% off is a more than excellent deal here for you to take advantage of this game. Again, roguelike first-person shooter there. I really enjoyed this game. And lastly, from Steam, we got Battletech. This is from the same guys that did the previous game that I mentioned, Lamplighters League, but this one is off the top charts, if you like mech battles there, and plays like XCOM 2. It's got a lot of bundles here also, but the base game is 75% off, so $10. It's not a huge investment, and it's been very positive since it launched. It's one of those games that if you like this kind of a thing here, it's pretty well worth it, as I see it. And lastly, on GOG, I only got here No Man's Sky, 50% off still. Again, got around almost a day until the deal expires. But yeah, basically this is it, guys. Again, I'm still deciding, but again, it will depend if I have time or not to do extra videos on certain subjects, because again, I'm a freelancer. I usually work throughout the day. Sometimes I got like half an hour, 1 hour that I don't do a lot of stuff here and there. And at this moment in time, I'm trying to take advantage of any break that I have to continue to recording the gameplay series that I'm being launching. That's why I don't do any more videos regarding kind of the new stuff. Again, I try to be more succinct that I can here in terms of expressing the news and my opinions on the news itself. So, but at the moment I cannot make like do a video 10 minutes covering just one topic there. It will be exhausting for me. Trying to then manage throughout the day my work schedule there. But yeah, I will wrap here for today with plug on my Patreon for extra support. The extra support at this moment in time is more focused for me to be able to get a backup storage solution, for me to be able to have backups of the stuff that I do for my clients, and of course some extra space for the videos that I do for the channel. But yeah, with all that said, I hope you have a wonderful day. I will see you in the next one. So until then, Kunamy Master out.